Yeah, it's been a wonderful organic show, but only at the expense of we've deprived our friends.
Well, let's not deprive our audience friends anymore. Let's bring out DeMorge Brown and Spencer Crittenden, shall we? Tough act to follow, boys. S-K-U-T-A.
You. Hey, Spencer, what was it like to see the version of you that would have existed had you been Superman and Superman 4 Quest for Peace had been... I don't know.
Eric clapped. Eric liked it.
The internet's a great place. I was trolling the Reddit thread about this episode, and someone pulled up a picture of him with his family from the past.
Whoa!
It's creepy, man. It's a creepy world.
Oh, not the photo. You're saying the ability to see that is creepy.
Yeah, I mean, who knew? Right?
Yeah.
It's just you come up 5 seconds later, your whole Zaba search is up there on Reddit. Zaba Search is a great website for pervs and stalkers. So,
your one-stop cyberbullying shop, Zaba Search. What was the thing they used to humiliate that Star Wars kid? Was that what was there was like a certain program that was referenced? Remember the Star Wars kid? God, that was so long ago.
It was like a video that was like shared way before YouTube. So it was I know it was on like Napster or no,
it was like on like a file sharing service. God, sorry, it was a Z. Kazaa.
Oh. I remember.
Yeah. I wonder what happened with that kid. It's just like, what a weird phenomenon that was. It was just it's still such weird things. Like we're 20 years into everybody's listening, everybody's watching, and we're still. I don't know if this will ever stop. We're still so fascinated with the minutia because these things pop up that out of context and like brought to the fore. Now I'm thinking of the Africa AIDS joke lady, who and how that phenomenon happened. How she was like tweeting and she made this like dumb bad joke because she's not a comedian.
Exactly. Yeah.
And by the time she landed in Africa, she was literally world famous and definitely fired and definitely it's absolutely no judgment on human. I think that's the thing is like why judgment? Why outside of that, like the phenomenon happening becomes the bigger story. Like we have the power now to destroy human life, like outside of referendum, outside of like criminal courts, outside like we've always had that power, but it was like. Broadcast news would occasionally, graze across an individual human life. And it was like, oh, you were on the nightly news, and it was like a rarer thing. But now you can just go from the airport fucking around to the cover of Time magazine in a bad way in the span of a 3-hour span. And I don't. It's equal parts scary and kind of invigorating because also like this is the same thing that we're finding out. Like, it's not like cops are all of a sudden going insane. It's like clearly it's been a high pressure job for a while, and some shit's been swept under the carpet, and like individual instances are becoming like
everybody wasn't wearing a camera at all times.
Yeah, now we're awakening to this world of taste buds. Like, everything like tastes all fucked up, and we're like focusing in on these individual things. I guess my hope is that we can kind of aggregate that into like some common sense stuff about, like, for instance.
Well, it's going to force people to be serious about what they say and what they do. I mean, you see politicians now who are, I assume, older. Maybe this is why, but they're behind the curve, and you have them telling stories or their renditions of things because they're used to being caught up to if they're going to get vetted maybe a year or 2 years later, and now it's happening pretty much instantly. It happened to Hillary when she was talking about that plane landing in Syria, like that.
Well, also like this new phenomenon, this next generation's politicians, like okay, so the guy that took over the Daily Show, he made like when he was 20 something, like oh my god, the jokes that I made when I was in my 20s, and the guy is taking over the Daily Show. So we saw that phenomenon. It's like he was vetted because Jon Stewart is, for better or for worse, a senator, and he's retiring, and the guy taking his place needed to be vetted, and he was was vetted via the internet, and there's a public record of him growing as a comedian, including all of his Jew jokes and his misogyny and stuff, like him experimenting with trying to be funny. And so like politicians, holy shit, man, like the next generation of like people trying to be senators and presidents, you're going to be able to go back and go like, yeah, well, like I want to think of it as a good thing, but my concern is that it's just going to enter a new like Elizabethan kind of, or Victorian, I don't know anything about history, that prudence will reign, and that will not free us.
I think what's happening right now is that like, I mean, I hate politics, and I don't like Republicans or Democrats particularly, and people have this choice to make, right? You know, with Hillary or whoever, it's probably she'll be the only nominee, right?
Brian Williams.
And there are people that are like, she's not a perfect candidate, but I think nowadays I don't think there'll ever be such a thing as a perfect candidate again, because there'd be no secrets, no mysteries. All of your warts and pimples and flaws are going to be so much a matter of public record for your entire existence that maybe there's a possible
or there will be superhumans like Barack Obama, who like the thing that was significant about him to me was his ability to withstand all of that shit. That became a kind of hero's journey in and of itself. I started rooting for him, because as much as I hate politicians, I'm like, fuck yeah, fuck you for trying to like dirty this guy, and you can't find it, you can't figure it out, you can't figure out why he's a bad guy. But my concern is that then it's just like we evolve in that direction, that these people continue to like, you pull them out of their mother's womb by either untimely or not, and you put them on a scale and you barcode. I mean, this is already my perception of the political career path. Like, they are pulled out of a womb in a different hospital.
Have you noticed that we're getting less Yoops now that Dave got all that out of his system?
He's good. He's now in his mind. He's curled up at his mother's breast, going Yoop. Yoop. Or she's going like Yoop, and like brushing his hair.
It's way higher. She's a soprano.
Yoop, and like the glasses are breaking.
That's why he brings two pairs of glasses on stage.
What is my point? When I was a communications major in college, my professor, Ken Sobiak, said, with technology comes, we keep trying to figure out, is this good technology or bad technology? MP3, direct broadcast satellite, internet, YouTube, it always turns out it's more good and more bad. I keep, the internet...
We put Scooter to work, apparently. Scooter's trying to kill me. Scooter's now become bartender. I love that.
The internet represents like new...
Scooter, would you like one?
No, I'm good. Thank
you. New opportunities for the truth to come out, and I just worry that it represents a new agenda for lies to get more Games of Thronies.
I think what it's going to inevitably do, and it does, like, to people that, like, when you first get on Twitter and you have 5 followers, you make poopy jokes and any joke, you don't give a shit. Then, like, if you're like all of a sudden you cross a critical mass threshold of amount of followers, you already have to start sanding the edges down and then trimming like major like corners off.
Yeah, and you have to decide what stick you are, because it's not like I'm just like some bland vanilla person, but I did have to pick which fucking specific stick I was.
You know what? I was right. I did the wrong thing, and I made the right decision afterwards. I posted a video for like 10 seconds from, I went against everything I believe in. I went to this music festival called Stagecoach because my friend was singing, and it's Coachella but country music. It's on the same fairgrounds. I despise music festivals because it's a bunch of douchebags and it's dirt everywhere. Yeah. And you have to eat some horrible pizza. And it was great because I saw Merle Haggard, which I loved, and it was very fun. Every girl there unanimously in short shorts, which seems like something that I'd be all for, but it was like they were all just like young and just like the thing was what bothered me, it was 100% white people, and it's like you can't have a festival.
Gross.
Like I know.
Right to March.
Huh? No, it's like I don't like when it's homogenous like that. It's just like that's not a festival. Like have a couple like other people. So anyway, I was walking by this. Like don't just have an all white festival. So not by design. It's a country festival, so of course. But I'm walking. I was walking by this trash cans, and they have recycle bin, landfill bin, compost bin, and there was a security guard, kind of supine, laying there lazily on some hay bales next to those, doing nothing.
Like a hee-haw sketch.
Yes. They're from corn stalks, and at some point, Ray Price came through. And, Roy Price, was it? Anyway, there was this two girls, and I took a video, which is quite hilarious, and I'll show you after the show if you'd like to see it. Two girls wearing the same outfit, white short shorts, and one girl was holding the other girl's hair back as the other girl was vomiting, and I thought quite cleverly, into the compost bin. I thought that was nice.
That's good, right?
Yeah,
that would be like the best compost ever.
It's not landfill. It's not. You don't want to recycle vomit.
But also, it doesn't ruin the compost process, right?
I think it's. I think you're speeding it up. I think you're halfway home.
I would assume. I mean, I'm actually asking.
I'm almost certain if you vomited on a cornfield, you'd grow some nice ass corn.
But I wonder, aren't there worms in there doing work? So I don't know if the vomit kills the worms. Maybe that's actually
I think
bad.
at this stage in the game, there's nothing happening yet. Later on, you want like the worms to.
Oh, okay, I'm confused. Yeah. I don't know.
This is a trash can. I'd never seen a compost bin at a major event, but I like that. That's very cool. And also, I thought, how good for this gal for holding the hair back. So I guess I'm walking by. My phone was in my hand, like boop, video, and I go by. And what I wanted to do, because the girl's legs was kind of spread, and I wanted to end the shot by going down and seeing the word compost, because that would be hilarious. And then I would kind of zoom in, and I would win a Pulitzer Prize. When I get down to the final shot, it turns out her legs were too close together, and I'm just now filming her ass.
And you're calling out, spread your legs.
Spread them! Show me the compost side. So now I'm just creepy McTavish. I'm 49 years old. I'm 41.
Creepy McTavish.
I'm double her age, their age. And the hilarious thing is, when I watched the video, and it's so good, is that each time she vomits, she hurls twice in the 6-second span, she does a little twerky booty shake. And it's really funny. So I put it online and on Instagram. I said, a good friend or a good person holds her friend's hair back when she's puking. A great person makes sure it's in the compost bin. Stagecoach 2015 #booty shake. And it was up for fucking 5 seconds, and I had 8 hate mails. Like, you invasive, creepy asshole. Like, take that down. I was like,
because the end of your shot, you showed it to me.
I'm just right.
You were trying for that compost label, but you successfully just framed her ass.
Should I show it on camera? Should we show this?
Yeah, you should.
You can.
The audience won't see it, though.
No, I'm not going to.
Well, Jamorge, you were going to say something. You kept getting derailed.
I'll show you after the show.
We were talking about the internet's dual capacity for truth bringing, but also then encouraging lies.
I just think that it's going to create other specialties, other jobs, which are the people who vet the people who are telling these stories. So especially in politics, you have people who are running for office who are going to have these anecdotes. I mean, Romney had an anecdote when she talked about a very clear memory of at some sort of convention, being at some sort of convention with his father, and his father's holding him in his arms. And the convention he's talking about, he hadn't been born yet. So all it took was an intern at Maddow to go, hey, we got this thing. And then that was half the episode was that.
Right.
And then just playing that over and over again and then going, let's look at the timeline and doing graphics
right.
and other shit.
Well, what is
and so
that?
they're going to need people implanted in, and what you had with Obama was you had people who recognize, okay, here's another channel. We can't get everybody directly, but there's this internet thing, and there's this information that's traveling faster, and there's the way people read information. And
right.
Poll results are coming out because news agencies are not news agencies anymore by the normal sort of accords. Now they just want clicks.
That's why he
so
won.
They're reprint. Yeah, they were just faster. They were faster. They were quicker. They were better.
He's just like
Those
racing
jobs are now
grandpa. It was
specialties.
exactly what JFK beat Nixon. It was just sort of like that new technology and understanding it. And like Nixon, I don't know if it's apocryphal or not, but Nixon refused makeup for the first debate.
It sweated.
His makeup's
and
for
looked
girls.
nervous and sweated and looked horrible.
And it's like, yeah, no,
wore a wool suit
you're
on
being
TV
you're
and-
being digitized into a box.
He hadn't
and
shaved,
no one's going to know
Kennedy
you're
was
wearing
like,
makeup.
lay it on me. Like, give me all the stage makeup.
Yeah. And so, anyways, and so with Obama, you've got like, okay, so you're good at having even Dan Harmon respect you, like you can't even like he's bulletproof, like from all views, you know. There's no stories, there's a, you know, and then it's like. But then it's like you're president for 8 years, and it's like Guantanamo doesn't close, and the district the fucking attorney general is like waging war on pot dispensaries while the pot is becoming increasingly legal. It's all the same horse shit, political shit. Anything that matters to me, this president is no different from fucking anybody that came before him. He's just another fucking president. My question is like, are we ever going to get to the point where like something snaps, where we have a choice between having a human being as a civil servant? We go like, well, this guy's walks with a limp and hates Malaysians and smoked pot and had a bad divorce and like
I would
like
love to go back.
here's all his flaws, but blah 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 fucking blah. And you know what? Also, he's not even a big fan of this hot button or that hot button, but civil servant.
I would love to
wants
go back
to
to
save
days
the country.
where the presidency wasn't a celebrity office. It used to be. It's kind of a you're a very.
But you
you're
also
a clerk.
you have to go back to the days where the opposition, the group in power, the group not in power, actually respected the presidency.
And
there was a point where that turned, where they said, okay, well now we're going to violate even that.
Right. And there was a point when the League of Women Voters, I think this was in the 70s, who used to always moderate all the debates, retired from the process and issued a statement that should be emblazoned on tablets and thrown down upon us as we dance naked around golden calves. But instead, because it wasn't written by God and was written by the League of Women Voters, is forgotten. But they, in a paragraph, fucking just like summed up. They said, we are not moderating debates anymore. I'm not quoting them at all. Look it up. Look what they said when they retired from the thing. I will paraphrase them for my own purposes and say, they said, we are tired of participating in a bipartisan sham. We are tired of participating in a rehearsrsed fucking like thing. This is all bullshit. We are not doing this anymore. And then
Dave, can I get a yep? There we are.
Like the Comedy Central roast was taken over by Comedy Central, I assume because the Friars had a problem with it, for better or for worse. Like the everyone was just like, okay, all right, well, fine, ladies, no more debates hosted by you, anyways. And it's just like there is a big like we're drunk on our own success. When you're an empire, who's going to tell you to change? Why would you ever change? The reason you change is because you're losing. You got to look at the team above you and go like, we're getting our asses kicked. We got to shake things up. But like the people at the top, the empires like always just crumble because they don't fucking figure it out. Like, why can't you just figure it out? Why can't you just look at your own bullshit and go, like, look at this old mailman landing on the lawn in his flying helicopter. Like, it's just like, all he's saying is, why is money involved in government? That doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. Like, we're at King's Landing, where money, like, runs everything, but why the fuck are our civil servants? Like why should money affect your election? That's insane. You're controlling the free world. That's like a complete, like, it's if you just think about that with common sense for a second, everything says campaign reform, campaign reform, campaign reform. And everyone in charge of everything that would ever change that is already like lining their pockets so it will never change. So the fucking guy got in a goddamn flying bicycle and he called the government and said, I'm coming in. And he wrote letters saying, I'm coming in. And he mostly thought he'd be shot down because he thought that might happen. And if that happens, maybe that will be a life well spent as an American. And he landed on the fucking Congress's lawn, and because he got through safely, CNN is just going, so how much more money should we spend on missile defense? First the left, then the right. This is the full view. Well, I believe we should spend $50 million on missiles. I mean, that guy could have been loaded with ISIS people. Well, I disagree. I think only 3 ISIS people could be on that copter. So I think we should be 100 million. Well, you've just witnessed the left and the right. Those are your margins. Get back to work, cocksuckers. Sorry if you're a cocksucker. That doesn't.
This segment brought to you by Honda Motors.
How about the idea that this old fucking hippie civil servant who delivers mail to people, which is a government agency which has never taken any of your taxes, that runs on its own money, which is why they sold stamps. They figured out self-sufficiency in an age when the FCC couldn't give up their fucking power enough to go away when Grace would have demanded it. Like, this guy is legacy. He should be a national hero. In Europe, they celebrate the lives of people who tried to blow up the government. They're cool that way. They have maturity on their side. They can handle it. We can't even fucking, like, we fire Bill Maher for calling the terrorists not cowards, and then we yell at him for being an Islamophobe 10 years later. Like, we don't know what we're doing except that we're scared. We're scared to talk wrong, or we're scared to be wrong. This fucking guy is 70 years old and said in his manifesto video, and when he was absolutely established that he was perfectly sane. He's fucking Joan of Arc saying, like, I I just don't want to have spent my life in this great country watching it fall apart. I just want to do something as I enter the twilight of my life that I think might make a difference. So I am a mailman. So I'm making this mail vehicle. And I'm writing a letter to each senator.
Anybody that in their spare time makes a goddamn helicopter plane thing. That's a pretty cool.
And we can't handle the fact that we should have been better able to shoot him down. First of all, who gives a fuck if the goddamn House of Congress is defended? Fuck you. It's not an important building. It's a bunch of fucking idiots. They don't fucking care. Defend the fucking coastline. Defend the fucking people.
If you want to kill senators, they're never there. That's the worst place to bomb.
Yeah, fucking blow up a bathhouse down the street. What the fuck are these people?
Blow up a TGI
they grow on
Fridays.
trees. They're people that want to be powerful and work for no money. Oh, where will we find another one of those? The government's not going to fucking fail if you blow up that. Okay, all right. No,
You know, Dan.
all right, sorry.
Okay.
Edit that.
Let's play.